feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it take a swim, only option is to win.
Welcome to the Shrimp Tank Podcast post-show wrap-up. I'm your host, Daniel Goodwin, and my special guest co-host today is leadership expert, Mr. Chad Patterson. Chad, thank you so much for being on the show.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, and our special guest, we have Dave Fougeron, and his company is Southern Star Brewing Company. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
So you may not know this guy, but you probably, if you live somewhere in South Montgomery County, you probably already drink his beer. These guys are the makers of Bombshell Blonde. He said they've got a cool, what's it called, October beer coming out later in the year.
Oktoberfest is coming out.
Oktoberfest coming out, so we're going to look forward to that. And they've got a brand new state-of-the-art facility where they can host special events. And today we did a deep dive on Dave's story as an entrepreneur. And one of my big takeaways from this was the sheer passion that you have for your company and for beer, and it just sounds like it drives what you do there, Dave. So wondering if you could just kind of just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think that my passion for beer is definitely what drives, it definitely drives me when I wake up in the morning to go to work. But I hope that shines through in our company. It's not just me; it's all of our employees. We all have a just crazy passion for making the best beer that we possibly can and get it out to the people in Texas.
I asked him if it was like Bluebell, like they say we make all, or what was it? We sell all we can and we eat the rest. Yeah.
That's a lot of beer to drink, though.
They're a fun bunch of guys over there. It sounds like they've got a community almost with these guys that have these different brewing companies where you've had to share yeast and things at times.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
Borrow raw materials, share yeast.
Right, yeah, and typical things that you wouldn't find in sort of more of a competitive landscape. And Chad, you had a question for Dave.
Dave, like you, I'm a very passionate person, and I'm just curious, how do you balance that passion, that drive? Because I hear a lot of drive in your voice with your family. You mentioned your wife's an anchor in your life, and you have kiddos, and you have these big dreams. So how do you manage that? How do you balance that?
My wife is very, very supportive. She's an executive too, so she doesn't have a whole lot of time either, but we make it work. I don't know if it's balance or if you just invite all of that in. I take my kids with me a lot of the times that we do things, where they can be with me. Good. A lot of the stuff that I do is at bars, so they obviously can't be there, but try to include them on some trips and consolidate our business trips with family trips and whatnot, and just instead of fighting to separate them, kind of embrace, kind of put them all together and kind of embrace them.
Awesome. So if you were to lean one day more towards what you're most driven about, what do you love spending most of your time doing right now?
don't get to spend most of it, but I love test batching and product innovation and making and looking for new recipes and new ways to market our product.
Good. He's a brewmaster. Besides being a businessman, we talked about net metrics, knowing your numbers, but get down where the rubber meets the road. At the end of the day, a great brew company is not about catchy names. It's about good beer, and that's kind of where that passion came through. So we want to thank you so much for being our special guest today, Dave. And how would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to learn more about Southern Star Brewing Company or to get in touch with you?
I go to our website. It's southernStarBrewing.com, or follow us on Facebook. Would probably be the best way to do it. We've got a Twitter account as well. And you can contact me personally if you'd like to at dave@southernStarBrewing.com.
Yeah, that concludes our show. If you had got here earlier, the beer's all gone now. We had a great time today. It was a fun show. Thank you so much for being our guest. Thank you for being here,
Thanks
Chad.
for having me.
We'll see you here live next week.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank.